Welcome back, friends. I'm Mellowseven, and this is Nantucket. Early access, you can see version 1 alpha. So, early. Now, I've played this a couple times. I've watched a couple videos of it. I haven't gotten very far. There's some, I won't call them balance issues, but there's an area where you go, it's very easy, and then it's impossible. Some of this is just timing. Some of these things, a little experience tells you, you know what, you can't do this mission yet. Don't even attempt it. Because nothing in the game gives you any sort of level of difficulty of some of these things. So, for instance, the last time I played, I was supposed to survive getting attacked by sharks for 8 rounds. And every shark attacked the same person every single round. And there's no way to keep a person alive for that. Period. With one boat and 3 people, it was just, there was literally 0 possibility of me completing that mission at that point. And there's nothing that told me that. So there's a few little things to tweak. But for the most part, I enjoyed the bit I played. The other thing is, this is a game about whaling. And it can be a little bit graphic in its descriptions. Some of this little mini stories and stuff can be fairly brutal. It was a pretty brutal life for both the men who did it and obviously the whales. And a fair amount of that's in the game. So I would say that if that type of thing bothers you, then don't watch this. Just skip on. This isn't the game for you anyway, so there's no need. If that doesn't scare you off and you're willing to accept that, then come along and we'll play some here. So the initial tutorial sets you up as Ishmael from Moby Dick fame. We're just going to be Captain 7 here, and we're not going to do the tutorial. We're not going to play Iron Man, although to be honest, I haven't actually loaded from anything. I've played till I've died every time. So we've got a couple options here. We can hunt, we can be sailors, we can science, and we can craft. Now all these things can be improved later. There's nothing that says you can only put points in one or the other. So I'm going to, I've gone hunting last time. I'm going to go sailing this time, maybe. I can go sailing. Let's try that. Now we get some traits. So here we go. +1 to spend on attributes, so we can spend more in there. +2 damage against sea creatures. 50% hit points gained during navigation. That might be very useful. 1 hit point per additional hit point per level. And open-minded, so we get 1 XP per day of navigation. I'm going to go for the XP. And we'll go with that, and we'll see how that plays. I haven't done that one before, so we'll see. So let's go to play. Now, it's a beautiful day outside. I probably I think you say anything?
Drink ye, harpooners, drink and swear, ye men that man the deathful whale boat's bow. Death to Moby Dick. God hunt us all if we do not hunt Moby Dick to his death.
Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm. I was cursed twice by the Lord for my blasphemous promise to hunt Moby Dick, and by Ahab for surviving the Pequod and its sons swallowed by the sea. I was craving to conquer my spot in heaven by striking my iron in Moby Dick's heart. So I headed back to Nantucket, looking for a new ship and wealth-seeking sailors.
Alright, so as I was saying, we're already getting some weird little effects there. It's a beautiful day, and normally I have the curtain closed to control light, but it's just too nice today. So the curtain's open, so light is going to be an issue. We will see weird artifacts of the green screen probably as we do stuff. There we go, as the camera tries to adjust their stuff. I apologize for that, but like I say, it's just too nice a day to close the curtains up and deal with this. So we'll just have to live with it. I'm sorry. It is what it is. All right, so we've got a ship right now. This is it. This is the Melville Hill. It's a rotten sloop. We can buy additional ships as we want, but they start to get expensive. I mean, you can see even this first one here is going to cost us 1,800. So if we were to upgrade, well, it's not even an upgrade. If we were going to go from the Melville to the Agnes, both of which are 1-star rotten sloops, it would cost us a fair amount of money. 1,800 there. A rotten schooner is going to cost us 5,700, and we've got 1,000 to start with. So we need to spend some of that money on some other things. The first is we're going to need some sailors. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we've got 3 slots on this ship, and I'm going to turn down the volume just a touch. And so we've got those 3 spots to fill. Now, we can hire up to those slots, and we have 4 prestige. So each level of prestige is going to get us an extra level of crewman. So we can get either a cabin boy, a hunter, a sailor, a craftsman, or a scientist. So we know we're going to need a hunter, right? We're hunting whales. We don't necessarily need to make this a super high level one if we don't want to. Even a first level one is going to be able to handle the early missions here. So I think, I'm kind of thinking maybe we go with just a 1 level. Our only option here is 1 or 3. If we go 3, that uses up most of our prestige. We're going to be the sailor, so we can kind of skip that one for the moment. We could use a craftsman. If we click here on Simon, who's level 2, we'll see he doesn't have any special traits, but it decreases the crew's food consumption by 10%. That's nice. He gets, these are the dice rolls that he gets for crafting, and those are the dice rolls he gets for hunting. So he could be useful for both. That's not too bad. This is our doctor, and we can look here, and Harley here is level 1. We obviously can't handle a level 6. We've only got 4 prestige to begin with. He has, lay goes to the captain if the character dies. Okay, so he's an orphan, so we would be essentially, you know, we're the guy on the will. He gets those, and he gets those. So depending on which set of dice you roll for different things. So we'll have to take a look at that. That is something, the different sets of dice were something I didn't notice till essentially the very end of my last playthrough. So I think I'm going to go with, let's go with Simon, and we'll hire him. Let's go with the doctor. We'll take Harley. We'll hire him. Now that leaves us 1 prestige. We could spend it on Claude. Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend it on Claude. I was thinking we could do that, but this I think is what we're going to go with. So we've got a low-level crew here, including ourselves. We're going to head out, and we'll take care of that. The next thing is we need a job. We don't really need a job. We can just go do whaling, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is going to give us some news on what's happening on that date, in this case January of 1820. We've got a couple. We need to discover a new whaling area, and we need to find out what happened to the Elizabeth, who was declared lost days ago. She went from Nantucket to Horta, but she never reached her destination. This one, by the way, is going to give us an extra prestige. So we'll go ahead and take both of those. We'll close that. We need to make sure that we have enough food and water and all that sort of stuff. Now, my first playthrough I died because there's a bug. If you do the tutorial on this, part of the tutorial is to come in here and buy kind of one of everything. And you'll see here that if we buy water, 1 barrel of water, it gives us 13 days. Well, the bug is, for the tutorial, it gives you like 120 days or something like that. And if you play through the tutorial, you finish the tutorial and you move on and you buy water, it keeps telling you 120 days. And because the first time I was played, I didn't notice. So I bought 100 days of water and we went out and died. So if you start with your tutorial, pay attention to this. Maybe save the game and then come back in and see if that clears the bug. So I'm going to give us maybe 38 days. We'll kind of run in kind of that area for each. All these things take up cargo space, so we do need to pay attention to it. And we'll kind of maybe we'll go for 50-ish days. Bump everything up so we've got at least 50 of everything. Now, if we go whaling, we will get more food from the whales, but we don't get more water. So we're going to say, okay, we spent 752 gold there. Now, if we go back to our ship, we can see that there are some of these things we can upgrade. We can upgrade our harpoons. That's going to do more base damage for our harpoons, which is great. It'll take 3 months and 200 doubloons, dollars, I guess it's dollars there, to upgrade. This one will get us 25% more field of view. Again, 90 days. More cargo space, more sailing speed, and more hit points restored per day as we run around. I think I'm actually going to go cargo space because There are a number of early missions that require 75 cargo space, and we don't have that at the moment with this ship. So I'd like to be able to take advantage of those, so it's a little bit of a spoiler. I know they're coming up. I'm going to do this one first. So we're going to research it. It will take 3 months. There are a number of ports. If we research this here, we can only pick this up here. We can't go to another port to get that technology. So if it's being researched here, it's just being researched here. So we'll say, okay, we're down to 552 gold. Let us sail away. Now, they do occasionally play some songs in here. I actually really like old sailing, sea shanties and whaling songs and that sort of stuff. And in fact, have a channel pretty much devoted to that sort of thing on Pandora. So I really enjoy the music. You may not. I think it's well done. There's not a lot of it in there. We're going to go ahead and first we're going to look at our quests. So we've got 2 quests. One is to discover a new whaling area. That's going to be up there. If we were to go to quest, it would show that. If we say unveil the Elizabeth's destiny, we can still show that one. And that would be this right here. So we're going to go ahead. If you just right click on the map. Well, there we go. And we'll just hit play. And now he'll start out. Now you can see, okay, there we go. Looks like a ship, the one you're looking for, rapidly sinks. So we got a few options here. We can board the ship to get goods, but there's a chance that somebody's going to die. We can see if there's resources still aboard. Food, water, whatever. 20% somebody dies. We can search the waters for survivors. Now, 50% we don't get anything out of this. 50% we get an extra prestige. I'm going to go ahead and do this. We got a prestige, so we win the dice roll there. So that one is done. I'm now going to go ahead and just go up here, and we're going to look for the new whaling area. I think that's the next bit. Now, we can do it like this. If you hit shift and right click, you can set waypoints. So we can do that. We can follow the prevailing winds. We can turn that filter on and off and see whether we want to see that. We can turn the whaling areas off and on. We haven't found any yet. There we go. Precious whale, lower the whale boats. We will lead the hunt. Okay. So, we'll go because, we'll start with Claude. We'll throw him in there. We'll throw us in there. And I'm actually going to put Harley the doctor in there in case we need a little. In theory, we're not going to. Now, you can see here we've got different sets of dice we can roll on. So I'm going to go ahead and say continue. Each whaling boat gets 1 action per turn. All 3 of us will roll. It's essentially a 6-sided dice. If one of these results comes up, we can do that. But if everybody gets a result, we can only pick 1 per boat. Okay, so if we were to roll like this, he would have a chance to strike. I would have a chance to do a protective maneuver, which means we could try to turn the boat to protect 1 person if we wanted, and he would have a chance to heal somebody. Nobody's injured yet, so we're going to put him over onto his attack dice there. And nobody's been injured, so I think I'm going to put us all on attack dice. We'll hit roll, and we'll see if we get something. He got something. We'll go ahead. We'll try to harpoon this narwhal. It's a newborn there, and we get that one. This one, of course, gets his attack. Every one of them get an attack or get an action of some sort. So if you have to fight multiple ones with 1 whaling boat, like I've done a couple times, it goes bad quickly. So now this time, 1 person is injured. It happens to be Harley. So we may as well flip him back over here to his scientist dice. And this way, if he's the only one that comes up, we could heal him if we wanted to. And we'll roll again. So we now can either do a strike here, or we can do a first aid here. I'm going to do the strike and finish this, because otherwise somebody else is going to get hurt, and it's going to be, we're just delaying the action. And there we go. So we get some blubber out of that, we get a little bit of food out of that, and we can go ahead and hit close and go back on our merry way. So this tells us that we have actually unveiled the Elizabeth's destiny. We can go back and turn that in whenever we like. So then we have these filters here. So this we now know is a whaling group area, and it's active from December 21st to March 19th. So we could continue to sail there. I'm going to go ahead and come up and hit this one, then maybe we'll come back and hit this one close to home. And I think that will be the plan. So lower the whale belts, we'll check out the area. We have a creature encounter, deployment, same type of thing. I think we go with what we used last time. We hit last used, hit continue, and go on to combat. Maybe next one we'll take the craftsman, so we can try that. They're both going to attack. This is not indicative of who they're attacking. You could go to protect this guy. It's not going to matter. It'll just slide down. It just means that they've got an action on the board. So we'll go ahead and we'll put everybody over to here. He's injured, and somebody else is about to get injured, so I'll leave him on his doctors. If he's the only one that comes up with something, we could have used it. So he'll do 7 damage. I'll do 3 damage. I'll go ahead and take the blow this time. We only needed to do 3 initially against the newborn narwhals. Claude gets hit. He's bleeding on top of that. So we have a random combat condition. We've got deep waters, distant call. So a random sea creature gets stunned. So this one heard a call in the water, and so he doesn't get an action this turn. These could pop up. They could hit us. There's all sorts of these random combat things. So I'm going to go ahead and hit roll again. Now, he's not doing anything. So if we were really in trouble, we could do a first aid. But, you know, it's easier just to take him off the board, finish the fight. We do have a couple people injured, but we're not in terrible condition. We'll go ahead and grab the blubber. We'll go ahead and grab the food. And I'll tell you how much we've got. We've got $200 built up so far. So now we can go. We look. This one's active from June 21st to September 21st. It's January right now. So I think we just go ahead. We've discovered that one. We can check here, and it will show that it is green check mark. We finished that. So let's go ahead and go back to here. Hit play. We'll roll on down. We need to keep an eye. We've got 2.7 barrels of water. So we've got 34 days left. So we could hang around here for about 10 days before we need to head for home. Maybe do a little bit more look and then go turn in those 2 quests. So that's the plan. What I've done early on is I've kind of followed the jobs a little bit too much and didn't do enough whaling to build up the experience and the money and get better ships. So that's my kind of tip for that. Working shoulder to shoulder, you come to appreciate his incredible physical strength. He can swim in the deepest ocean unfriendly. So we can do this. We can try to match him. So we have an 80% chance to get the swimmer trait added, and we could fail. 20% chance we're going to say, yep, we're not a swimmer. We got it. And we could just say, no, thank you. That's fine. So now we're here. It took us an extra day because of the storm there, and we're going to hunt whales. And now it's just kind of sit here for a little while. We'll see what happens. Just kind of keep an eye on our food and water and everything. Your ship encounters a stormy area. Everyone welcomes the heavy rain, knowing they will get... So we're going to get some water from that. So we're going to add 2 to 5 barrels of water. Look at that. We weren't really that low with water. So I'm not really that worried about that. We had, 30 days to go that far. So 20 days to go that far, excuse me. So we were fine. All right, let's lower the whale boats. Deploy. All right. So this time we'll take us. Assign, we'll take Claude. And we'll take Simon this time. So Simon gets smooth rowing. I don't know what smooth rowing does, but let's find out. So we've just got the 1 injured person this time. Claude's the only one with an injury. It's just the 1 narwhal. I'm going to go ahead and put us on that. Now, you know what? You know what? I'm going to do it this way. We'll go ahead and see what this does. Protective maneuver, we could protect Claude if we needed to. This one. Smooth sailing, or smooth rowing. I don't know what smooth rowing does. This one, creatures play their cards face up. So we know that, I guess, ostensibly he's going to attack Claude. Maybe that's what that means. So let's go ahead and roll. And maybe as we play on, we'll get things. Now, see, we couldn't do anything that time. Every single one of us missed. RNG is huge in this. I've died to narwhals because we've had 5 or 6 rounds in a row where we couldn't get a 50-50 roll. So now we got stunned. Member stake, so I got stunned. Now we've got smooth rowing. Reroll a character die. Okay, so we can say, Claude, you get to reroll your dice. And we missed again. So in this case, we're getting crushed by this baby narwhal who only has 3 hit points. Because of RNG, we've missed, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 50-50 chances. Now, hunting dice won't enable command, so I can't hunt. There's too much sun glaring off the ocean. I can't actually see the narwhal, so we only have a chance at one of these. So I'm going to roll, and of course the only person that came up was him. So 3 rounds, 3 dice each. We've been able to do absolutely nothing, and this newborn narwhal is crushing us. Claude's about to die. And this is just RNG. Absolutely nothing we can do here. This isn't a skill issue. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to do a protective maneuver. We're going to make sure that Claude gets protected. This time he is still going to bleed, but we protected him there. Now, we're also bleeding. He's bleeding. We're about to die. If we don't get this next hit, and again, this is 4 rounds. We've yet to be able to get any of this. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. We're going to hopefully get everybody on there. There we go. Bam. So, RNG is an issue in this one. And health is an issue. So, we'll hit closed. And you know what? I think we're going to go in. I think we'll hit play. We're a little bit beat up now. We'll sell some of our stuff. Now, we are going to heal as we go. That's what, you see our health points slowly coming up there. Something else we can look at. We can move where people sit around. So, we've got our guys. So, this is our craftsman. With him there, we get 2% additional sailing speed. I'm going to move us there because we're the sailor. So, it doesn't really change much, but bonus slot, we've got somebody there. The basic slot's been upgraded, so we get a 4% boost to sailing speed, and then the crew gets another 2%. If we come here, we look in the forecastle here, we don't get a whole lot. I'm going to move our hunter down here. Doesn't do anything for us. We get anything here? Crew crafting level. Well, we should probably put our crafter there. So we get an extra 4% base slot, gets us 4% level. Signed crew. +1 haul per day times crafting level. So he's level 2. So our ship heals essentially an extra point per day. 2 extra points per day. So all of that's going on. I'm going to move him back down here because I think the doctor, 1 hit point. Doesn't appear to change anything there. So we'll just go with that. Hit space to unpause the game and we'll roll on. And weather conditions, so 2 days behind schedule, although there it says 1 day late. Enter the harbor, turn in our 2 things. Civil War starts. New issue, the newspaper's available. Crew injuries have been healed. We're all back up to good. So we can come here, we can get paid for our two jobs, get reward. So we made $450 there. We can come here and sell our blubber. We already did that actually when we came in. So we're all told, we cleared 200 out of all that. Now, we've got research going on. That was 200. And we still have a fair amount of food and water here. So, you know, we could get out there and just top these off a couple times. And we'd have, you know, about 75 days we could go back out and still be plus 113. But you're not going to get rich quick in this one. Now, we could come in here and say, okay, well, look, now I've got a little more prestige. I've got 4 prestige now. So maybe I want to get rid of somebody. Now, if I fire somebody, I'm going to lose a prestige. So I'm going to go back down to 8. That's not terrible. If there's a hunter that's worth 4, for instance, a level 4 hunter, we could do that. This guy's level 3. We could go ahead and replace him. Let's take a look at Alan. +1 working attribute. And he's got a fasten, so when he harpoons, the harpoon keeps the thing dragged to us. So it does some additional damage. So that's not a bad idea. So we could fire Claude. Then we can come in here, we can hire Alan. We've still got 2 prestige, so maybe we want to get rid of our scientist. Now, if we fire him, we're going to lose 1, which is only going to let us get to a level 2 guy, right? So that'd knock us down to 7. We'd get 1 back. So we'll just stay where we're at. We could also get rid of Simon. We could get up to a level 3 if we wanted to. No real need to do that. So we've upgraded our hunter. I think that's probably it. And I think that's probably enough for our first episode here. So that's the first look at Nantucket. I'm going to come back. I'll maybe do 3 episodes in this series because it's a beautiful day and I'm sitting here with the wind shining, or the sun shining through the wind. And yeah, it's just kind of a nice, and honestly, I can't figure out what else I want to do today. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you next time. Cheers.